We've been asked to answer the question when we felt called into ministry. And for me, that was a process of over several years as a teenager. In the beginning years of my high school, band was everything to me, and I thought I would be a band director. But our band program changed, and later in high school I put down my trumpet and started singing, and had more opportunities to do that, and followed with going to college at Bruton Parker to be a part of the choir there. And it was while I was there that I had opportunity to serve in a church as interim for the first time as a young 18-year-old. And from that experience, I had another experience of a church having needs of music leadership. And it was kind of through that process of experiences that I felt that was what God had called me to use my talents and abilities to do. And so 33 years later, in some form or fashion, I have served in churches in Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. Another question asked was, what's your greatest frustrations or greatest joys from ministry? And I would have to say the answer to that was the same thing, and that would be Keith. No, just kidding. Kind of. No, seriously, the greatest joys have been people, and greatest frustrations have been people. And so thankful for the many people who've loved on me and my family, and allowed me to love on them and their family through this life journey together. What's the craziest ministry experience? Thankfully, none that have happened in the pulpit on a Sunday morning. But I have to say, in honor of our guest here today, that the funniest preacher that I've ever worked with is Andy Cook. And a couple years ago, Andy invited me to go on a trip with him down to Florida, and he was being interviewed for some program. And the night before, we stayed in a hotel, and somewhere in the night, well, it wasn't very long into the night, I think he said it was around 10 or 10:30, he no longer could handle my snoring and left the room and went downstairs to see if they had another room. And that may seem like an embarrassing or horrible thing to have experienced, but my dad had a similar story from years past of being at a pastor's conference, and a preacher who had come to room with him couldn't handle it in the middle of the night and had checked out. So that's one of them. If you want more, just ask. I'll be willing to share. Thank you.